Hi there. Hi. How are you doing? Welcome to another episode of the Intentional Growth series. I am so excited for this particular episode because this literally screams everything that I stand for, everything that I believe in, and I am so glad to share this with you right now. All right, so get set, put on your seatbelt, get excited because some of the things I'm going to share with you are so simple. You've probably heard them before, but they are so profound and so particularly life changing. They have the ability to take you from zero to legendary in a minute. All right, so let me share the question that I'm going to be answering today with you. The question is this: how are you able to manage your time so well? You seem to manage your 24 hours so well. Your work with God keeps deepening as your seasons get tougher and choking, and it seems like the other way around. You still read books, listen to sermons, your relationship with people is on point, meetings, appointments, duties, and so many things. How can I be so intentional with my time that I can be well balanced? Now, this is a question that even I am still asking because balance is not something that you learn in one day. Balance is not something that you perfect in one day. Over time, the decisions that you make daily will impact the outcome of your life in the long term. Now, I need you to understand this. Everybody wants to be amazing, everybody wants to be legendary. But very few people, in fact, a handful of people, are going to get there. People are most times in the mediocre level of life because their decisions, their actions, their responses to life actually put them in that category. So the things that they do put them in the category of mediocre, in the category of average, because nobody wants to go the extra mile. Bare minimum is all that we seem to be able to give. Now, if you want to be excellent, if you want to be amazing, you have to go the extra mile. And in that extra mile, you have to work harder than the pack. You have to do what other people find uncomfortable to do. You have to be able to serve, stretch, push in ways that people may not be familiar with, people may not be comfortable with. And so many times, when an average person sees someone that is willing to go all the way, they think that they are mind blowing, that they walk on water, but really it's just that they refuse to end where other people ended and they decided to go a little further. Now, the legendary people are people who are saying, listen, I know that I can be the top of the top. And not just the top of the pack, but the top of the top. I can give my all. I can change the narrative. I can decide to create a conditioning for the rest of the people that are following after me. And these people, they don't relent. They don't have off days. They don't have days where they decide to take a step back and stop. Now, this is the mindset that propels me. I don't just want to be with the pack. There's a scripture that I love so much, and that scripture is whatever your hand finds to do it well. So that means that I can decide actually to be average. I can decide to be nonchalant about life and give the barest minimum. But I could fulfill scriptures by saying that whatever my hand finds to do, I'm going to do it well. I'm going to give my best. I'm going to pour out my all to ensure that the task is met, the agenda is fulfilled. I'm going to go the extra mile. I'm going to push. I'm going to stretch. It may not be comfortable or convenient in the beginning, but I'm willing to see it through. Now, the average person doesn't like discomfort. The average person doesn't like to be uncomfortable. The average person doesn't want to be put in a situation rather where they are put under pressure to be better, because being better is something that is going to push you, it's going to stretch you, it's going to discomfit you, it's going to make you answer very difficult questions. And this is the mindset. The reason why I'm starting this conversation here and not just giving you tips and all of that is that the right mindset will propel the right actions. If you don't have the right mindset about a thing, then your actions around that particular subject is going to be wrong. It's not going to be the best. It's not going to fulfill what is demanded of you in the particular role that you are fitting into in the moment. And so, in this moment, I invite you to step out of yourself and begin to function at a level of excellence, and not just excellence, but choosing to go the extra mile of legendary, to be an authority in your field. You know, there's something that is prevalent on social media right now, positioning yourself as an authority. And in the beginning, I was trying to align myself with that statement of positioning myself as an authority. But then as I began to read my scripture, I said, I don't want to position as an authority. I want to be an authority in my field. I don't want to take different steps to sound like who I'm not. I want to effortlessly be that. Because when you listen to an authority, you know, this person knows what they're talking about, this person knows what they're doing. And so, in different fields, for example, in leadership, when you listen to John Maxwell, he's not trying to position himself as an authority, he is an authority in leadership. When you listen to John Ada in leadership, for example, you would realize that this person is not trying to position as an authority, he is an authority. Why are they authorities? Why are they legendary? Because of study, of research, of pain, of the grind, and all of that. I was recently reading a new book written by John Maxwell. I think it's 16 Laws of Communication. And as I was reading it, I realized that this man has studied, this man has researched, this man has put in blood, sweat, and tears to be able to get to this place where that we are compelled to listen to what he has to say on this subject. We're compelled to partner with his knowledge and begin to make better decisions in leadership and communication and public speaking and the likes of it. And so, don't just position yourself as an authority. Don't do 5 steps of branding and brand positioning and then you position. No, it's not about positioning, it's about actually getting the work done. It's about putting yourself out there and delivering your best at optimum every time. You're not in competition with anybody. Your greatest competition is your own self. So consistently make up your mind to show up at your best. Consistently make up your mind to be the best. Consistently make up your mind to optimally deliver at legendary levels, serve at legendary levels, live at legendary levels. And it starts with the mindset. Now, we all get 24 hours in one day. Nobody is getting more hours than the other. What makes us stand out is what we do within those 24 hours. What am I doing with my own 24 hours? How am I serving myself? How am I worshiping God? And how am I serving a generation? All right. So, how am I worshiping God with my time? Because these people have I formed for myself to show forth my praise. So, how am I worshiping God with my time? But then it doesn't end there. How am I improving myself? How am I getting better? What was different between yesterday and today? Right? What's not the same yesterday that it has changed today? What has elevated? What's next level in my thinking, in my actions that is not same today? And these are things and conversations that genuinely we need to begin to consider, we need to be able to think about, we need to be able to put in the work so that we can thrive around it. And so, um, going from that place of nonchalance to that place of I'm giving my best, I'm serving a generation, I'm giving my all to this, that's everything. Okay. And so now going from there to saying, how do I serve my generation? How am I giving back? How am I pushing back? You can serve your generation by being average. You can serve them by being extraordinary, or you can serve them by being legendary. Your service is dependent on what you are wishing to deliver. In marketing, it's called the deliverables, right? So what do I want to deliver? What do I want to give? How do I want to give it? So what are my deliverables? What are propelling my actions? What are propelling my thoughts, my mindset towards my deliverables? So for me, my time management begins from the right mindset. And then the second thing about my time management is the right motives. And which are the things that I've listed: worship God, improve myself, serve humanity. So I am not doing it from the standpoint of competition. I'm not doing it from the standpoint of influence and more income and all of that. No, worship God, improve myself, serve my generation. These are the three things that propel my decision, propel my actions, influence my outcomes. And then thirdly, priority. Now, I want to worship God. I want to improve myself. I want to serve my generation. How am I going to do that? I'm going to live a prioritized life. Ture Roberts said something. He said, say no 90% of the time. In the beginning, it didn't make sense to me. But as I began to study around boundaries and around greatness and around people that have made a mark in generations, I began to realize that they said more no's than they said yeses. Um, Not everything that is important is valuable to you. It may be important, but that doesn't make it valuable to you, especially in certain seasons of your life. So you need to now make the decision to decide, okay, this is seemingly important, but is it valuable? This is important, but am I going to be able to impact my world through this? Am I going to be able to make a difference by investing in this right now? Um, those that are in my coaching courses may have heard me say that life is divided into four different categories. One is must do. This is something that it's only you that can do it. It's only you. If you don't do it, no other person can do it. So for example, I'm married. No other person can be my husband's wife, right? It's only me that can be my husband's wife. That is a must do for me. It's only me that can be my parents' daughter because I was the one that they birthed. Yes, they could have other people see them as parents, but ultimately, I am their daughter, right? And then secondly is should do. Should do are things that I should do it, but do I have to? Do I have to be the one that gets that done? If there are ways that I can delegate, if possible, do I have to get it done? Do I have to be the one that sits through doing that? How will that affect my time? Right? Many times, one of the things that people don't understand is when you do everything, you are limiting the time that you're going to use to do other valuable things. So you can't afford to do everything. You can't afford to be the one that is doing everything in your life. There has to be a place of delegation. There has to be a place of compartmentalizing your life to know that this needs to be done, but does it have to be me that does it? This needs to be achieved, but does it have to be me that achieves it? This needs to be. So you need to know these should do's. These should do's are prime target for delegation. Outside of should do is can do. I can do this, but do I have to do it? This is another prime place for. So our shoulds and our can are two prime places where delegation is a possibility. Now, it may not be mandatory dependent on your financial capability. It may not be mandatory based on your current status. It may not be mandatory based on, these are certain things like for example, there are people that have people that go to market for them. They go to groceries for them because their current schedule and their current class in influence doesn't permit them to be in the market. So there are certain people that may enter the market today and get mobbed, right? Because of who they are in society. Now, if they decide to go to market, then they may have another agenda. But if they, most of the time, they use the services of others to ensure that what needs to be done gets done. And so, should do and can do are in the same category. Then there's the last category, and that category is desire to do. For example, I desire to be able to braid my hair myself. I desire to be able to do my makeup myself. I desire to, but right now, imagine if I put an end to the things that I need to do, the things that I must do, and I begin to invest in the things that I desire to do. Me going to learn how to braid hair right now, it's not in tangent with my purpose. It's not in alignment with who I am designed to be. And so I desired to learn how to braid hair so that I could maybe do it for my kids or maybe do it for myself. But when I think about the fact that most times when I go to do my hair, I work on a book that I'm working on. I could work on maybe a post that I need to work on. I could work on or follow up on a document, follow up on conversations, things that I wouldn't ordinarily be able to do if I was the one doing it myself. So the time that I spend in the salon, I can use it to catch up on my readings, catch up on conversations, catch up on working on posts, do diverse things, as opposed to me being the one getting it done. So these are things that need to be put into consideration. So must do, should do, can do, desire to do. That has to be the things that are in tangent with your priorities. You need to consider these things and know which ones are optimal and how am I able to meet this need based on my current level right now. These are conversations that you need to have with yourself. So I think this conversation is getting longer than I thought, but I really hope that you've learned about time management. So, first is the right mindset, second is the right motive, third is priority, and four, execute. Don't waste time, execute, 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 execute. Once you have priorities set out, get to work. Don't procrastination is the greatest enemy of greatness because it's doing choosing to delay what you can do now for later. Do you know that the difference between um being able to serve a hot food and cold food is time, giving it time? Some meals are better tasting hot, even if they are tasty naturally. They taste better when served hot. So sometimes you need to get out of yourself and begin to build from the lenses and from the perspective of you being intentional about the outcome that you're trying to deliver per time in life. Anyways, I really, really hope that this has helped somebody. Remember, right mindset, right motive, priorities, and execute. But one of the things that I will say to you is be flexible. Read yourself, know your limits, know when to take a break, know when to reschedule, know when to ask for help. Be flexible. You cannot do things all by yourself. Be flexible with your growth, be flexible with your life. Just be flexible. It makes all of the difference. I hope this helps you. I hope this helps you become even more intentional about your growth and about your destination in life. And let me know in the comments how this is going to make a difference in your life moving forward. Bye for now. My name is Rejoice Azuka Uwuseba, and I look forward to serving you more.